So in my last video, which was our maiden voyage from Salthouse Dock, I explained that we'd stopped in Litherland for a little while. So as you can see, the first photo in this video is where we were moored up. And you might remember in the last video that I actually mentioned about we didn't have any mooring pins. They weren't in the mooring kit. So Litherland was literally the first place that we could stop. So in the first photo, you'll be able to see there was an old boat behind us. So we had to put one of the mooring ropes around one of his pins. And I think the other one we kind of tied up to a tree or some iron railings or something. So if you saw my last video, our maiden voyage, then you'd have seen about, I mentioned how many wildlife there were. And so this is a scene from one of the windows that I saw from the boat with all the Canadian geese going past. They were there for quite a long time. So this was one of the things that I really loved. We had the babies coming to us probably about half a dozen times a day with the parents, the coots and the moorhens. And they were just permanent features the whole time that we were there. They were at the duck hatch. We could hear them peeping all the time, and it really made our day. It was just so lovely to see them, because we've been in quite a few mooring places since where we haven't had the wildlife like this. It just seems to be in the busier areas where people are that we tend to see the birds. Otherwise we don't see them so much. So when we stopped for the first time, which was at Litherland, one of my first jobs was to mirror the windows. So this was something that we wanted to do. I'd already got the mirror foam in from Amazon and had that ordered in ready, and I ordered the silver one because I'd looked at all of the different ones they do. You can get sort of like a blacker one, you know, different shades of grey and things, but the silver ones are the ones that actually let more light into the boat. They're very good as well for kind of reflecting heat. So the idea is that people are looking past, and when they look in, they can't actually see. So they can't actually see into your boat. So the only thing that we did find with mirroring the windows is if the lights are on inside, then people can then see in. So that's something to be aware of. But I think it only costs something like £5 a window to do. It's pretty tricky kind of going around the corners because the film's a little bit thick. So I think it costs something like £5 each in order to do each window. But if it's something that you haven't thought about, it's something that's really worth doing. And at the moment, I'm still at that point where I'm waiting for somebody to stop and check out doing the hair in the window as they pass, because obviously the mirror, but that's not happened yet. But you do get some people staring, but at least with that up, they can't actually see in, which is a really good thing from privacy, especially when you've got people walking along the towpath all the time. We were still pretty worn out when we got to Litherland, you know, when we rested up there for a couple of days. But obviously there was still jobs to do because, as I've mentioned before, there was an awful lot of litter around that area. And so the prop had all got tangled up, and there was quite a few times we had to stop, not just because of the litter that was in there, although you can see in one of the photos here that most of it is sort of plastic and sort of other debris. There was an awful lot of weed that we had to go through as well. So that's one of the things we'd found. But since we've gone through that area and further on through that area, there's a massive problem with periwinkle. Not, is it periwinkle? Pennywort, sorry, pennywort. And so, as I understand it, since then they've had some boats going through helping clear that as well, because it's been a bit diabolical for people trying to get through with their boats. They just haven't been able to. But I have to say, moving on to the canals has been absolutely life-changing. The time goes so slowly. At the time that I'm doing the over speech, the over voice for this video, we've actually been on the canal for about three and a half months. And I feel like I've been on here for years. We both do. It's just absolutely life-changing. And even after this short period of time, I don't know that I could ever go back to land again. are safe and sound over by the towpath side. So we've just been through Coxhead Swing Bridge, which I believe is Bridge 20, so that was pretty easy, and another boat has just pulled up to go through there now.
Yeah, they've got a peck on it.
So we passed about 4 or 5 pubs that day, one of which was the Scarsbrook Arms. So we stopped for a pint of Brewdog Camden there. And when we came out, we found a lovely plum tree, absolutely full of plums. So we picked lots of them, put them into our t-shirts, carrying them around like you did when you were kids, and headed back to the boat. On the way back to the boat, we also noticed that they had some 24-hour moorings, which is worth pointing out for any of you that would want a few more pints than we did. So another one that we went past was the Farmer's Arms and also the Saracen's Head. So yeah, as I said earlier, I think there are about 4 or 5 in total that we passed that day, over about 6 miles, about 5-6 miles I think we did. And yeah, all easy to see from the canal, so you won't miss them. Yeah.
Well, get out, please.
Yeah, it gives you the heads up.
You enjoying it?
Love it.
Loving it.
Bridge 22.
Good driving there, if it's so good to say so myself.
Yeah, cool babe, cool beans.
You would, more not.
Can do, yeah. Yeah. We moored up near Burscough Wharf, which used to at one point be a veterinary hospital for horses that used to pull the barges along the canal. It's a lovely place now, full of sort of like bars, beautiful places to eat. It's somewhere that we really enjoyed going. It's somewhere I'd certainly like to go back to again. When we're in an area, it's always nice to try out the local pubs. So another one we tried out was the Old Packet House, and they had a beer garden that was overlooking the canal, which was really lovely. So you'll see a little bit of the footage here. That was the view when we were sat out in the garden. On our next cruise, we'll be off to Parbold, so keep an eye out, keep watching. Hope you're enjoying, and I hope you'll be back next time. Take care.